Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Oregon Conservation Partnership webinar. Today's webinar is using drones and low elevation remote sensing technology to measure changes in the environment. Before we jump into our presentation with Ken Fetcho, Herb Winters, Lauren Burns, and Matt Barker, I have a few housekeeping announcements. First, thank you to our partners and sponsors. Sorry, one second. I'm trying to share my screen, and it's not working. Well, we typically have a logo of our partner, our sponsors, OWEB and the Pacific Corrugated Pipe Company. We really appreciate their support in making these webinars possible. There are 73 people registered for this webinar today, and we are so glad that we can provide this useful information to so many people. We're also grateful for all of you tuning in and would be particularly grateful if you could take a survey at the end. This is an opportunity for you to provide some feedback, share what you'd like to see on future webinars, and what you might like to see in future workshops on drones or other topics. This month I also have a special announcement about another opportunity to help guide and put on future trainings. The Connect conference is, in the future, but we are accepting proposals now, and those proposals are due September 30th. There's a link on the Ocean Connect website as well as on the Oregon Conservation Partnership calendar, so you can submit a session proposal. There's also still opportunity to volunteer on the planning team for Connect, and there will be a link for that on the Oregon Conservation Partnership website by tomorrow afternoon. Now, the plan for the webinar today, we have a panel today. It's going to last until 11:30, including about 15 minutes for questions at the end. Please save your major questions until the end. If you have a pressing clarifying question in the middle of the presentation, you can type those into the question box, and I'll find a convenient place to stop our presenters and ask them that question for you. Once we get to the end, then you can ask some bigger questions, and you can either type it into that question box or raise your hand. There's a little hand icon next to your name, and I'll unmute you so you can ask that question vocally. As I said, our presenters today, we have three panelists, but first we're starting with Ken Fetcho from OWEB, explaining a little bit about OWEB's role in drone technology and monitoring. Our presenters are Herb Winters from Gillum SWCD, Lauren Burns from the Columbia River Intertribal Commission, and Matt Barker from OSU. With that, I will turn it over to Ken Fetcho.
Thanks, Anna. So again, my name is Ken Fetcho. I'm the Effectiveness Monitoring Coordinator here at OWEB. And we're just really excited to work with the Oregon Partnership and the presenters today to bring, a variety of applications that drone technology is being used to measure watershed conditions to meet each organization's goals and objectives. Recently, OWEB developed a policy to describe what expenses are eligible related to drones that OWEB will pay for. And this policy is available in our budget category definitions document. You can download this document off our website by clicking on the Payments and Budget link in the Manage Your Grant header on our homepage, or email me or your OWEB project manager to access this document. So one thing to note that's in this policy that I think you'll get some good information in this webinar today is that applicants must include a justification for these expenses and why you need to buy a drone and or why contracting the work is not the better option. So I just want to make sure you guys include that if you guys are working on applications this fall cycle and considering using drone technology. But when we were developing this policy, OWEB staff spoke to many of our grantees who are using this technology to better understand what their needs are. And one thing that they all told us was that there's a need for a forum to share and learn and access new information related to acquiring and processing imagery. And so this prompted us to do some thinking around how we could better support that. And so one of the ideas we had was to work with the Oregon Partnership on one of their monthly webinars and recruited some speakers to talk about how they're using this technology. And so we, OWEB, acknowledge the potential this technology has to help plan and evaluate restoration actions in Oregon. Yet there are many factors that must be considered to successfully use this technology to meet your goals and objectives. So we hope to learn alongside of you and figure out how to share information in the future. At the end of the webinar, there's a short survey, as Anna mentioned, and really encourage you to put your opinions and information and ideas into that to help better support you guys in the future. So with that, I'd like to turn that back over to Anna. Thank you.
So we have a couple polls just to give a little information to our panelists so they can better cater their presentation to you all. So first, what organization do you all work for? Okay, we have almost everyone voted. Here are your results. So we have mostly conservation partnership members, several people from tribes, universities, and private contractors or consultants come in third, and several from federal or state agencies. A good mix. Thank you all. We have two more questions. Your current level of interest in drones. Ken, is that kind of what you were expecting?
Yeah, no, I think it is. About a third fly drones, about a third just want to learn more, and sort of the rest is split, with not flying, but interested, and smaller percentage are hiring contractors, so.
Great. Well, hopefully the presentation will be able to address all those different interest levels. One more, how are you applying this technology if you are applying it? Okay. Ken, do you have any thoughts on those results before I turn it over to our first presenter?
Yeah, no, I think that, it looks like a lot of people selected all the above, so they're not only, helping plan projects, but to quantify changes and to document those actions from a different perspective. And then those none of the above are probably those who just want to learn more. So, thank you for answering those. I think it helps the presenters better understand who they're speaking to.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you, Ken, and thank you to our participants. I'm going to hand it over now to Herb Winters.